Welcome to the Shadow Frequency, where the unexplained meets the unforgettable. I'm your guide to tonight's journey, hosted by Matt Wilson. In this episode, we unravel the mystery of the lost colony of Roanoke, a vanished settlement, a cryptic clue, and whispers of the supernatural. Settle in, because the shadows are calling.
Welcome back, listeners, to The Shadow Frequency, the podcast where we tune into the strange, the unexplained, and the downright chilling. I'm your host, Matt Wilson, and this time we're going to dive into one of America's oldest mysteries, the lost colony of Roanoke. Over 400 years ago, more than 100 settlers vanished without a trace, no bodies, no signs of a struggle, just the word Croatoan carved into a tree. Was it a tragic end, a mass migration, or something far more unearthly? Grab your headphones, dim the lights, and let's explore the shadows of Roanoke. Let's set the scene. It's 1587, and Sir Walter Raleigh has funded an English colony on Roanoke Island off the coast of what's now North Carolina. Governor John White leads 115 men, women, and children, including his own daughter Eleanor and newborn granddaughter Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the Americas. They're here to establish a foothold in the New World. But things go wrong fast. Supplies dwindle, tensions rise with the local tribes, and White sails back to England for help. War delays his return for 3 years. When he finally steps back onto Roanoke in 1590, the colony is a ghost town. Homes abandoned, belongings left behind, and that cryptic word, Croatoan, etched into a post, with CRO scratched into a nearby tree. No one's ever seen again. The obvious theories? Maybe they starved, maybe the Croatoan tribe attacked, or maybe they integrated with the locals on nearby Hatteras Island. Archaeologists have found European artifacts mixed with Native American ones there, pottery, tools, even a ring that might have belonged to a colonist. But here's where it gets weird. No graves, no bones, no evidence of a massacre. For over 100 people to vanish that cleanly, something doesn't add up. And that's where the paranormal theories creep in. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll explore some of those theories on the Shadow Frequency.
Looking for a daily dose of the unexplained? Tune in to the Shadow Frequency with your host, Matt Wilson. This short, thrilling podcast dives into the paranormal, packed with info, entertainment, and mysteries that leave you craving more. New episodes drop every single day. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, iHeartRadio, and all your favorite podcast directories. The Shadow Frequency, where the unknown comes to life.
One idea whispers through the ages a supernatural force took them. Some say the island itself is cursed. The Algonquian tribes in the area spoke of spirits tied to the land, entities that didn't take kindly to invaders. Could the settlers have stumbled into a ritual site, angered something ancient? Local legends tell of shadow figures seen in the woods, even today. Eyewitnesses, modern ones, claim to hear voices calling from the trees, speaking in Old English. One camper in the 1990s swore he saw a woman in a colonial dress vanish into the mist near the old site. Then there's the time slip theory. What if Roanoke settlers didn't die, or even leave, but slipped into another dimension? The word Croatoan could have been a desperate message, a marker of where they went. Paranormal researchers point to the area's strange energy. Compasses malfunction near the site, and some claim time feels off. A fisherman in 2015 reported his watch stopped dead for an hour while he was near the island. Coincidence? Or a ripple from 1587? Let's talk about the Dare stones for a minute. In the 1930s, a series of carved stones surfaced, supposedly written by Eleanor Dare herself. One reads that half the colony died of disease and the rest were killed by natives, except her and a few others. Skeptics call them hoaxes, and carbon dating's inconclusive, but if they're real, they paint a grim picture. And yet, no bodies, no proof. It's like the earth swallowed them whole, or something else did. Here's my favorite theory, though, the Wendigo. Yeah, that flesh-eating spirit from the Algonquian lore. It's a stretch. Wendigos are more tied to the northern tribes, but hear me out. The settlers were starving, desperate. What if one of them turned to cannibalism, inviting something dark? The Wendigo doesn't just kill, it possesses, it transforms. Maybe the colony didn't vanish, they became something else, wandering the woods forever. Locals still report hearing screams on moonless nights. So what do you think, listeners? Was it a practical end, disease, natives, or relocation? Or did Roanoke settlers cross a line into the unknown? I'll leave you with this. In 2007, a psychic visited the site and claimed to feel a tear in the veil. She said the air was thick with grief and something was watching. Maybe the truth's still out there, hidden in the shadows of Roanoke. Next time, we'll dig into another mystery. Until then, keep your ears open and your lights on. This is Matt Wilson signing off from The Shadow Frequency.
That's all for this episode of The Shadow Frequency. Thanks for joining Matt on this chilling dive into Roanoke secrets. If you enjoyed The Shadows, leave us a review, share with a friend, and subscribe and tune in next time for more mysteries. Until then, stay curious and watch the woods.